everyone, me Kevin here. Donald Trump was just interviewed on Fox News, and when asked if he'd support another round of direct payments, Donald Trump finally gave us a 100% crystal clear answer. He said, quote, "I do, but it has to be done properly. I support a larger number than the Democrats. It has to be done properly." That was his quote. I'll play the relevant clip in a moment because it's amazing, it's gold, it's beautiful. But first, let's understand what he literally just meant by that, or potentially meant by that. He said he supports a larger number than the Democrats. Well, what do the Democrats support? Well, the only thing the Democrats have been supporting has been $1,200 stimulus checks to not only us people who got stimulus checks the first time, but also $1,200 stimulus checks to all dependents rather than just $500 stimulus checks to dependents under 17 years old. So that's what Democrats passed in the HEROES Act. Other Democrats have been talking about a $2,000 per month stimulus check. That didn't gain traction. The Democrats didn't pass any of those plans, but that's what they've been talking about. And he said he supports a larger number than the Democrats. The assumption here is that he's talking about a larger number than that $1,200. But that's really, really good. Like, great, finally, like, awesome, finally, like some good news. This better not just be some lame, like, hype and crap false hope, because this is nice. Like, finally, yes, the support that we need. Again, the assumption here is that maybe he was thinking about a one-time check of $2,000, or maybe a one-time check of $1,500, something like that. I don't imagine he was thinking about any kind of recurring check. Who knows? I mean, this is probably like wishful thinking, but maybe he was thinking, how about a one-time check of $3,000? I want to buy the election. I ain't gonna be paying off the debt in the future. And I guess you can't really fault him for thinking that if he's thinking that. I'm not saying he is, but I mean, come on, if we were president right now, it'd all be on our minds, right? Why not offer a bigger check? In fact, that's something I said a few months ago. I said the Republicans would literally be brilliant to say, yeah, screw this 1,800-page bill from Democrats. How about this 5-page bill that gives everyone a bigger stimulus check? Simple, straightforward, and easy, and fast. Let's keep going on with Donald Trump's discussion here, because this is exciting. I'm tripping over my words because this is great news. Let's go on to what else he said. By the way, quick reminder, I did launch a private mentoring chat. Go to metkevin.com/chat to learn more, and you can use the same coupon code down below for the other things. Okay, Donald Trump talked down the $600 unemployment boost. He said it creates a disincentive, too much of a disincentive to go to work. It was kind of weird though, the way he talked about it, and again, we'll play the clip in a bit, but the way he talked about it kind of made it seem like he wasn't super familiar with the $600 boost, just that it kind of made me feel like somebody told him that, oh, the $600 boost creates a disincentive to go to work, because Treasury Secretary Mnuchin talks about that. We've got Larry Kudlow who talks about that. Kevin Hassett in the White House has talked about that a lot. And he kind of went right into talking about how he wants to incentivize working. And he thinks we're all going to come together, like everybody in Congress is going to come together to ultimately get money to people in a quick manner, in a non-complicated fashion, and a larger amount of money. Those were the three important things he said. He said he wanted to create a, quote, tremendous incentive to go back to work, which later in the interview, he actually talked about releasing a statement in about 2 weeks on minimum wage, which this is really interesting because think about it. If you raise the minimum wage and did some kind of stimulus, that is kind of a back to work boost in some sense for everyone. And it's an easy, simple thing that could essentially become part of his legacy as potentially more of a moderate conservative Republican. This is very, very interesting because usually raising the minimum wage is a little bit more centrist or left thing to do. We don't know if that's what he's thinking, but he did say that he's releasing a statement on minimum wage in the next 2 weeks, which just happens to coincide in timing with discussions on the next stimulus package. He also said he was going to meet Republicans tonight to, quote, make a decision. Those were his words on the next rounds of stimulus or the plus up. We're not exactly sure, make a decision on the next stimulus check or the plus up, that $600 per week boost, but this is a good sign. We don't know when we're actually going to hear what that decision is, but this is very, very good. He also went to say that the number, the size of the stimulus is going to, quote, be a good number, a substantial number, people are going to be very happy. He went on to say that he wants more money to go to the people so they can go out and spend it and support the economy. He says he thinks we're in a V-shaped recovery. He believes that the coronavirus may just disappear, and he reiterated that he thinks that because he believes we're going to have a vaccine very soon. On masks, Donald Trump went and clarified that he would wear a mask. He'd absolutely wear a mask if he were around people. The only reason he doesn't is because he gets tested and other people get tested before they come around him. And remember this, the Washington Post last week reported that people within the White House noticed that Donald Trump within the White House was starting to realize he was lagging in the polls. And some of the things he said today could be the perfect clarity that he thinks he needs to give to all of us to kind of maybe boost the poll results a little bit. I mean, think about all of the things we've hit here so far. Stimulus checks, clarity on potential unemployment or, minimum wage updates coming, updates on his thoughts on the vaccine, updates on wearing a mask. Very interesting. But he didn't just stop there, and I'm going to circle back to what he went on to say, but I want to quickly jump in here and note that Kayleigh McEnany, very shortly after this interview, reiterated that Donald Trump wants a big payroll tax holiday as well to help boost and motivate people to go back to work. So a lot of good news coming together here about going back to work, that payroll tax cut, which wasn't super popular with a lot of us, at least in the comments section. Basically, a payroll tax holiday would give us somewhere between a 6.5% to 7.45% boost in our take-home pay. Probably benefit people more in the higher income because this is money that you would take home on every paycheck, right? So it'd take longer to see more of a boost, so to speak. And that's where a nice stimulus check with a larger number might be more desirable. Anyway, it does sound like there is going to be some kind of unemployment boost from Donald Trump's discussion here. We're not exactly sure what kind of boost, but the current expectations are that Republicans are planning for some kind of unemployment boost of between $400 to $450 rather than $600 and rather than just completely eliminating it. Donald Trump then went on to slam Joe Biden, saying the market would crash if Biden was reelected because Biden would raise taxes and increase regulation. Trump even said that there is a potential, or even just the potential of Joe Biden getting elected has become an overhang on the market. In other words, Donald Trump thinks the market is not going as high as it could because there's a potential Biden might get elected, and just that potential is weighing down the market. Donald Trump did admit that a higher stock market would be beneficial to his campaign, and he went on to clarify that he thinks Jerome Powell is doing a good job and suggested that Jerome Powell has improved because there was a period of time where Donald Trump was not very happy with Jerome Powell's performance, although now that the money printer is adequately flowing, Donald Trump appears to be happy, at least with Jerome Powell's performance. Now, let's go on to the clip and mention a few other things, but first, quick reminder, remember, life insurance down below. You could literally sign up for it in as little as 5 minutes. That's probably before this video is over. You could sign up for it. It's really good, easy to use, and get 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit $100. You won't regret signing up for either. All right, remember yesterday I reported that the window to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program had closed yesterday. The Senate unanimously agreed to extend that deadline to August 8th. The House agreed unanimously to extend that deadline today, and all we need now is Donald Trump to sign it, which obviously we all expect Donald Trump to sign that extension. So it looks like PPP application window will be open until August 8th, which is 2 days before Lauren's birthday. Anyway, at the time of this recording, the application window is still closed, but as soon as Donald Trump signs it, it should be back open. Let's now go ahead and play the clip.
Mr. President, thank you for talking to Fox Business. We appreciate it. A lot to get to. Let me start with phase 4 and what might potentially come later this month. Another round of direct payments for individuals. Do you support that at this time?
I do. I support it, but it has to be done properly, and I support actually larger numbers than the Democrats, but it's got to be done properly. We had something where where it gave you a disincentive to work last time, and it was still money going to people and helping people, so I was all for that, but we want to...
I just want to interrupt there and quickly say, isn't that kind of weird? And I'm going to rewind. Isn't it weird we had something that kind of creates a disincentive to work. It does make me feel like he's a little disconnected from the $600 plus up. Kind of like somebody in the White House just like, by the way, yeah, we got this thing and it's creating a disincentive to work. Let's do something different. Maybe that's why he's thinking of maybe a bigger stimulus check round, okay? I'm going to go back about 10 seconds here and let's replay.
We had something where it gave you a disincentive to work last time. And it was still money going to people and helping people, so I was all for that. But we want to create a very great incentive to work. So we're working on that, and I'm sure we'll all come together.
You want the direct payments larger or the uninsurance benefits larger?
I want the money getting to people to be larger so they can spend it. I want the money to get there quickly and in a non-complicated fashion. And they wanted to make it too complicated. Also, it was an incentive not to go to work.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to put this video link down below so you can watch it directly at the source. Thank you, Fox Business, for doing that. But very, very interesting. So let's try to do a quick little recap as to what we got here. So Donald Trump supports a larger number. The only larger, that's either going to mean larger than $1,200 or it's larger than $2,000. Those are the only two numbers that we have. The odds are he means larger than $1,200. It also seems like he's not too familiar with this plus up, and if he's not kind of somewhat following Donald Trump a lot here, because, well, that's what I do, I follow the media and what's going on in the world, I kind of have a feeling if Donald Trump doesn't understand the plus up that much, or at least he kind of is conveying that he doesn't understand it that much, he's going to be much more interested in things that he understands. He understands checks to people. He understands simple things like getting money to people quickly via the direct deposit system we've already got with the Treasury Department. Remember, we did all that signing up to put in our direct deposit information a couple months ago. And he understands payroll tax holiday, and he understands minimum wage. So I think those are things that he's going to be a big proponent of because they're simple, and simple things that Donald Trump understands, I think, are things that he's going to push. I'm not trying to say that he's not smart enough to understand the $600 plus up. It just, I don't know, watching that clip, it seems like he's not too familiar with it. It is what it is. I'm not trying to slam the guy. It just seems like his head's in a different place, which is just an indicator for us to see, okay, I guess that means he's more interested in stimulus checks or the payroll tax holiday, and hopefully a combination of those things. Again, no mention, though, of heroes, essential workers, state and local government funding. None of those things mentioned today from the White House. So there's your update. If you appreciate updates like this, please consider subscribing, smash that like button, share the video with somebody you care about, and do consider joining the programs in the link down below. We've got a coupon code expiring in a few days. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.